Good evening, and thank you for being here. Our program starts promptly at 6, so if you can help me count down, we're going to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock. So hello, and good evening again. Welcome to the Broward County Public Schools Business Excellence Program. This course series is brought to you by the BCPS Economic Development and Diversity Compliance Department. My name is Anne-Marie Richards, and I'm delighted to be your hostess for this session. I serve as the Advocacy and Compliance Coordinator for the Economic Development and Diversity Compliance Department, or EDDC, for Broward County Public Schools. With almost 8 years of dedication to the school district and 20 years of experience in the private sector arena, I'm passionate about fostering economic growth, expanding opportunities, and championing equitable access within our community. In my role at the district, I oversee the goal-setting process and make recommendations to the superintendent's goal-setting committee. This is per board policy 3330 and the results of the 2023 disparity study conducted by Keen Independent Research. But tonight, it is your role to participate as participants in the Business Excellence Program that is truly instrumental in promoting supply diversity. Your involvement empowers us to encourage participation within our local small business community, driving greater availability, enhancing capacity, and increasing contract opportunities across construction, architectural and engineering, professional services, goods, and other services. We are grateful for your dedication, and we look forward to working together to achieve our goals. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we thank you for being here. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our leader and commander in charge of the Economic Development Diversity Compliance. Please put your hands together to welcome our director, of Economic Development and Diversity Compliance Department, Ms. Denise Mincy Mills.
Thank you. That was a little weak, but I'll take it. That was a little weak, that's okay. I know this is week 5. Y'all getting tired of seeing me, huh? Well, good evening. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you to week 5 of the Broward County Schools 2024 Business Excellence Program. As I said, I'm Denise Mincy Mills, Director of Economic Development and Diversity Compliance. We are truly in the home stretch of this incredible journey. We're on week 5. We have one more week to go, and then it's graduation. How many people ready to graduate? Let me see your hands. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome, awesome. So before I get started on my comments, as you know, I don't see any, but let me not get in trouble. I would like to acknowledge any elected officials that we have in the House. Is Commissioner Rogers here? Okay, somebody make sure and tell her that I mentioned her name. And obviously, I'd like to thank Ms. Cassandra Robinson, the principal of Plantation High School, for her graciousness. Thank you, that must be some of her staff. Remember, I mentioned her name. I also like to thank our signature sponsors. I think that slide is up. Yes, Broward County, Miramar, Pompano, Sunrise, Tamarack, and especially CORE and Mr. Cody Keese. Is Cody in the house yet? He's probably at the table still. I really appreciate Cody and his support of EDDC. We really do appreciate that. He's the vice president of CORE for South Florida. So tonight, we will focus on how to fuel your business, with non-competitive procurement opportunities. This is a way to grow your business. We would discuss small dollar purchases and non-competitive procurements for $50,000 or less. This is a golden opportunity for you to showcase your capabilities without the high-pressure environment of larger bids. In fact, these opportunities are designed to encourage local businesses like yours to participate and grow. Some of you may be thinking, I want the big bucks. I'm not interested in $50,000 or less, but I want you to think of these opportunities as opportunities to build your business. They will help you gain experience, foster relationships with public agencies, and build your confidence so that you can compete for the big bucks. Also remember, every contract that you win brings you not only revenue, but visibility and trust in the marketplace. After tonight, and certainly after graduating from the Business Excellence Program, I know you will be ready to take the leap. I am extremely excited, as I always say. It's time to get this party started. So, now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so pleased to introduce today's moderator, my friend, Mr. Joseph Sanches. I have spent 40-plus years myself in the construction industry, and I can tell you that Joe Sanches, I call him Joe, I know it's Joseph, but it's Joe for me, is a giant among giants. And the Tri-County is fortunate to have his imprint all over the place on countless construction projects, both public and private. Joe is one of the few people in the world who actually works in the field in which he obtained his degree. Many of us have degrees and we work in totally different fields, but Joe has been very successful in utilizing his degree. He has a bachelor's in construction management, he has an MBA, and is a LEED accredited general contractor. Joe has led the design and construction of over 100 schools and championed sustainable practices, which has earned our neighbors to the north the National Green Ribbon School District title. Let's give him a hand for that. That's not that easy to do. So that speaks to his expertise and his knowledge in this industry. Currently, he's the Chief Operating Officer for the School District of Palm Beach County. Let me say that again. He is the Chief Operating Officer for the School District of Palm Beach County, which is the 10th largest district in the United States. You know you don't want to let Joe get out the room. You know you're not going to ever get a chance to see Joe in Palm Beach County schools, probably unless you're in trouble. In his role, he oversees facilities, food services, transportation, and supplier diversity. Previously, he headed a South Florida construction firm and has managed many large-scale projects nationwide. Joe serves as the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County and is a life trustee of the Kravitz Center for the Performing Arts. Please put your hand together as I bring to the stage my friend, Mr. Joe Sanches.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Denise and Jasmine, and and Anne-Marie for inviting me out here this evening to join you guys. Very excited about what you guys are doing. As Denise mentioned, one of the areas that I'm responsible for is supply diversity in Palm Beach County schools, and this is something near and dear to my heart, as you can tell, because I get paid a whole bunch of money to be the president of Black Chamber of Commerce president, which is $0. But it's something that I love. I take it very personally. It's something I love to do, and I love helping out small businesses and helping them grow. So tonight we're here to talk about our segment's called Fuel Business Growth, Assessing Non-Competitive Opportunities under $50,000. And the session talking about under $50,000, we were going to empower small businesses to leverage government procurement opportunities below $50,000, as the title suggests. So attendees will gain insight into non-competitive procurement thresholds, discover effective methods for identifying these opportunities, and learn strategies to maximize growth with smaller contracts. Our expert panel, which I'm going to introduce you shortly, will also cover best practices for invoicing, ensuring compliance with timely payment. We're also going to hear from real-life success stories, and attendees will see how focusing on non-competitive contracts can drive steady growth. Please join us and gain practical tools and avoid common pitfalls in securing smaller government contracts. So with that, I'm going to bring our panelists up to the stage. I'm going to introduce them. First off, I have Eugene Raymundo. Eugene is an account payable supervisor for the city of Sunrise with over 20 years of experience in financial management. He oversees accounts payable functions, ensuring accuracy and compliance across multiple funds. Eugene specializes in vendor payments, employee reimbursements, invoicing, and public procurement training, particularly for under $50,000 opportunities. His expertise includes government accounting and compliance, workflow coordination with purchasing, and 1099 reporting. Recognized for his contributions, he was named City of Sunrise Employee of the Year in 2022. Let's give him a hand for that. His career includes roles with the City of Hollandale Beach, Grand Vision USA, Embraer Aircraft Holding. Eugene holds a Bachelor's of Science in Commerce, majoring in Business Administration from the University of Santo Tomas, Philippines. Welcome to the stage, Eugene Raymundo. Come on up to the stage, please. Either way. Our next panelist is Mauricio Stradiotti. Okay. He's the Director of Procurement and warehousing services for Broward County Public Schools, bringing over 20 years of procurement expertise across private and public sectors. In his role, he leads strategic sourcing, procurement operations, and inventory management to support the mission of the 6th largest school district in the nation and the 2nd largest in Florida. Holding a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, Mauricio's experience spans diverse industries, including aerospace and automotive, where he managed complex procurement projects. Certified as a Lean Six Sigma black belt, that's as high as you can get, right? Or you can become a master, or you could be a trainer. Yeah, you could be a trainer, which is pretty high. And a professional in supply management. He is dedicated to driving operational excellence, something that's near and dear to my heart, as an operations chief. Originally from Brazil, he has been a Broward County resident since 2011. Welcome to the stage, Mauricio. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to make my way over there as well. Thank you. All right. Gentlemen, thank you again for joining me on the stage tonight and helping us provide some information to our attendees today. So I'm going to start out with you, Eugene. Actually, this question is for both of you gentlemen. So what types of goods and services are typically procured through non-competitive opportunities under $50,000? How can small businesses position themselves to meet these needs?
So pretty much anything under the sun is available. There's a lot of non-compete purchases that are made for the city. A lot pertaining to anything from like hurricane recovery, emergency repair services. We also do even like pest removal that's done non-compete, uniforms, pretty much any industry that's out there. It's always something that the city always needs, and you'd be surprised what they do need. So they always have something to purchase, and there's a good amount that does get purchased that way. So.
Is the under 50 rule unique to City of Sunrise, or is that a statewide rule?
Usually for us, to the best of my knowledge, it may be a little less than 50, but it depends on the scenario, what you're making the purchase for. So.
Same question.
So for the commodities and everything else that you can purchase here, I agree with Eugene. So it's pretty much we can purchase everything. We also have several types of professional services that we procure through independent procurements to areas mainly to support our academics area. And the $50,000 threshold, which is important in our case, comes from policy and some direction from the board of statutes as well.
One thing I'd like to add too is
Lift your voices,
at least
please.
with Sunrise.
Lift your voices. I don't think they can hear you.
Yeah.
You hear in the back?
All right, we're going to make sure
Okay.
you're in the back.
Okay. At least with the City of Sunrise, right? They take pride in utilizing local vendors. So if you are trying to get into doing business with a municipality or a local government, it's good to reach out to your specific city that you're based in, because they do give like a preference to local within the city vendors. So.
I'm sure we have some additional follow-up questions that audience is going to have. I want to make sure we cover some of these things kind of global, first of all. I want to fix you up for the next one. So how can small businesses ensure compliance with government invoicing and payment processes to maintain strong relationships and secure timely payments?
Okay, so follow the instructions in the purchase orders, right? Send the invoices to usually we have a mail inbox, in our case, if I'm not wrong, is AP invoices at browerschools.com. I know that we have a different email that you use for the construction side, but follow the instructions. If you have the doubts about where to send the invoices and things like that, you're always going to have someone in the procurement department or someone that you do business with in the municipalities or in the school board that you can reach out and ask for instructions. Usually the website also provides you instructions about how to deal with invoices, okay? One thing that's important is that, the sooner that you send the invoice, the more accurate the invoice is. The payment will most likely be done on time, or and then you're going to be avoiding delays in receiving the payment. And being a small business is very important for you. That you have a good cash flow, that you control the money. So follow the instructions. If you have doubts, reach out to the entities for them to help you, so you are educated about what the process you should be following for each one of the entities that you're dealing with.
Yeah, actually, I want to add on to that. Since I'm an accounts payable supervisor, I have pretty heavy knowledge on that. As Mauricio was saying, make sure you provide all the pertinent information we require to make a payment. My job is literally to sit in an office 40 hours a week just to give out money, in a nutshell. So if you provide the correct documentation, a payment will go out. And 9 times out of 10, when you do not get paid, it's basically because we don't have a purchase order, or you provide the invoice. You have a purchase order, you don't provide it, you don't put it on your invoice, or you don't have invoice numbers. All those things are very important, especially once you start getting into volume, where you're paying a lot of invoices. It's going to be very hard to track without invoice numbers. And I see that all the time, where vendors can't keep track of what they're supposed to get paid, and they're getting paid and they don't even realize it. So it's very important to keep track of your documentation and your accounting. So
what can vendors expect in terms of turnaround time for payments?
Usually Florida statute gives us, I believe it's 30 days or 45 actually, and in construction's a little shorter. We could usually turn something around as easy within a week, and we don't usually stretch it out. If we have 45-day terms, we don't hold your payment till the 45th day. If we can get it out the door, we get it out just to get it over with, and we don't have to worry about it. But again, depending on what kind of paperwork you turn in, is your invoice correct? Do you even, we see things billed to individuals within the city, and obviously we can't pay it if it's not billed correctly. So again, you have to invoice everything properly for us to be able to pay it. Our job all day is to look at your invoice to see if you did bill it correctly. Did you bill it to the city, not to, let's say, just Mauricio? Otherwise, we're going to say Mauricio can pay it, and we'll pay him back. So we try to avoid that. So we try to educate our vendors to submit the proper invoices up the first time so that they don't have delays.
It's pretty standard, right? So we have some agreements that then, the payment term sometimes is different, but usually it's 30 to 45 days.
And do both of you or both your agencies, is it always by check, or do you got electronic payments?
We're actually, right now, we're literally doing one ACH and maybe 3 wire transfers. Everything's by check, but we're currently working on a third-party company that will help us doing ACHs, and we actually prefer to go this route as it's keeping the vendor's data secure because we don't have access to their banking information. So the third-party company is maintaining all that, and they're insuring it up to $1 million per transaction that information is secure. So.
For us, we try as much as possible to do ACHs, right? Because it's less burden, administrative burden on everyone. We also don't want the checks to be lost in the day, right? So yeah, we try more ACH, but we are all over the place. We have the different solutions, checks and wire transfers as well.
So important information, guys. I think so. When you pay, figure out how you pay by checks. That's going to help you out.
So one additional, I think, aspect that's important that for all of you to pay attention is if you have any new bank information, if you have, if you change the address or anything that can impact the payment to you, especially for the ACH and wire transfers. As soon as you have new information from your bank regarding your bank account or payment details, you should be contacting then, the municipalities or the school board for us to update then this information because, any type of wrong information or sometimes a digit is missing or is wrong, then, we are going to go through all the several issues and problems about chasing payments. And, in the end of the day, this means that, it's going to take more time for you to get your money, okay? So be mindful of this. Make sure that you have process in place in your company to make sure that the payment information is accurate, and then we can do a good job paying on time or sometimes ahead of time.
Important information. There's a lot of fraud going on in that business, so it's important that you have those direct conversations so that people are not stealing your payments, right? So very important. Eugene, I'm going to go back to you for the next question. So could you explain the specific procurement thresholds determining when government contracts can be awarded non-competitively and what factors agencies consider?
Well, so for the most part, as much as possible, we try to, a lot of times they try to stick with competitive bids just to get the best price, obviously. But again, there's certain scenarios where that's not possible, or you have to go with the non-competitive purchase. A lot of times, at least for us, our department heads are the subject experts. So they would know best if they can select a certain vendor or if it's sole source. They know this is the only vendor that can provide that service. we go with those. But the department heads usually determine if that's something that's viable.
So you can have a sole source over $50,000?
Most of the time, no. Yeah, we have a $2,500 threshold actually for before requiring bids, 3 bids. So, yeah.
Is there a difference between 3 bids and 3 quotes, or is it?
But this is, of course, everyone thinks about the money, but the
money threshold is not the only aspect that we need to take in consideration. For the policy, we also need to take in consideration certain terms and conditions. Sometimes if that procurement or that quote or that proposal is tied to certain terms and conditions, including liability, insurance, and certain types of aspects, we will need then an agreement anyway that you need to go to the board for approval. It's not such a straightforward process, right? And we have some other specific types of procurements. I don't want to go into this here because it's too complex, let's put it this way. But the money threshold is not the only threshold that we have in Broward schools.
Okay. So, single quote under 5,000?
Yes.
And between 5,000 and 50,000, 3 quotes.
3 quotes. And yes, and we also have the process for sole source, where per the policy and per Florida status, we need to advertise for 7 days, in order to make sure that that sole source is really the only source that we have to buy the goods or services.
And sole source is also under 50,000, or?
Yeah, under 50,000 as well. Yes.
One thing I'd like to add to that too, I know this day and age, right, nobody really reads an actual newspaper anymore, but like Mauricio was saying, we're required to advertise these, so they are out there. So one good place to look for these opportunities would be in those ads where we're running them, literally asking you for you to come and bid. So.
Is the newspaper the only place they can find them, or is there, I think there's a public procurement website or something?
Okay. So in Broward schools, and thank you for bringing that up. So in Broward schools, we have the Mandstar, right? So the Mandstar is where we publish our bids and also our sole source. So we invite every one of your companies to register in the Mandstar, because anything that we have there, regarding solicitations and sole sources, then you're going to be informed. You're going to receive an email, and even though if you're not receiving the email, please contact Procurement, and you fix that for you. But you usually are going to be notified. For the opportunities, the non, let's say the non-bid or non-solicitation opportunities under 50,000, the process is a little bit different because we are not going really to be advertising this. So what you need to do as the business owner, you need to Eugene's earlier point, you need to develop the relationship with your local municipality, or for Broward schools, you need to develop the relationship with the schools in your area or in the county, right? Because the schools and the municipalities, they need to know that you exist, and they need to have you, in the back of their heads, because then when they need something, they're going to think, hey, I have that company that can provide that service or those goods to me. And then they are going to be reaching out to you, right? So, because, a lot of times when we need to buy something that's under $50,000, that is sometimes, as Eugene was saying, is because of an emergency or something that we need to do for the schools that are needed in a short period of time. And we know that the solicitation process is a lengthy process, right? That takes sometimes 3 months, and for complex procurement, sometimes takes 9 months, right? So try as much as possible, invest time, to develop the relationship with your local schools, local municipalities. Be known, because then when people know you, they know where to find you, and then you're going to see the opportunities coming and people knocking in your doors for you to provide the goods and services.
Thank you. And I'm sure Denise's office will help with that as well, to make sure that you guys are known to the principals and others who are actually working.
So if I may just add to this, and that's the other thing, right? So I know that maybe not all the municipalities, I believe all should have that, and Broward schools also have that. So for you that, we're talking about the small business here, so get with, the small business office, I know that we have different names. Here is the EDC, but the people that work in those departments, like all the people that is here putting all of this together for you, they are here to work for you. They are here to help you. So if you need help in being registered or being known, or you don't know what to do, they are going to help you. And in having them to help you, they're also going to have the ears there to see if any opportunity comes up. They are aware. They are going to say, and to share your content and say, hey, contact that company, because I believe they can help us with those needs. So look for the small business office in every single municipality. The BDC for Broward School. So Denise and the team, they do a fantastic job in promoting you, in supporting you. Sometimes they bring other people, for example, from procurement, to help you, to get certified with us, and then everything that I'm saying here is, you need to do your part in order to be known and to be exposed to the opportunities that you may have.
I like to add something to that. So most of you guys here obviously are small business owners. The city, at least with Sunrise, we deal with a lot of small businesses. So like Mauricio was saying, get yourself out there, make yourself known. We use everything from theater performers, artists, muralists, beekeepers, shirt, like embroiders, everything. If it's out there, more than likely one of the municipalities uses it. So the business is out there and they're willing to use it. So make yourself known, I guess.
And just to add another point, right? So for the schools, another very nice way for you to get through the door is for you to start developing relationships with the PTA and PTO associations at the schools, right? Those are organizations that are run by the parents, right? And they are pretty much independent organization. It's not Broward Schools money per se, but they have a lot of interest in working with the small vendors, the small community vendors. So develop the relationship with them as well, because not most, but a lot of times, the PTAs, they bring some needs to the district, and then the district then decide to develop something that's towards, or more inclined to small business, because a lot of times these needs become a district need, and then we can put something together that's more tailored to the small business.
Okay, we talked about what to do. Now we're going to talk about what not to do. So what are the common mistakes or pitfalls that businesses often encounter in pursuing non-competitive government contracts? How can we avoid them?
Well, at least for us, we have a vendor self-service portal on our city website. One common thing our procurement office gets is, don't just go out there and register. So the procurement department, they have their leads, they know who to contact. Again, that's why you should be out there, so that you're one of their leads. You want to be one of their leads to get on there. A lot of our procurement department finds it as like a lot of people just go to register thinking, oh, if I'm registered, I'm on the list, and it's not the case. So, if worst come to worst, call the procurement office. You can ask how to be added to their list of vendors that they use. If if you're offering a service that they might need.
When you register on the federal self-serve, you don't automatically get notified when the solicitation comes up. They have the vendors have to put in what codes they need.
With Sunrise, that portal is used more for you already won the bid, and now it's just a matter of setting you up in our system so that we can create the requisitions to create the purchase orders, so that they can make the purchase and then I can pay it. So.
About some of the mistakes that vendors simply make trucks to non-competitive.
Okay, so never provide a service or ship or deliver a good without a purchase order, right? So because this is going to create a lot of problems not only for you but for the employees, the district employees that do it, right? So and then you're going to delay the payment and sometimes things go really south. So if anyone in the district, is trying to buy anything from you, ask for a purchase order. And then you send the invoice. To Eugene's point is that expertise. So matching the purchase order that you receive, right? So what's the exception for this case? Of course, when we have the P card transaction, so the P card, you receive the money, it is fine. But one big pitfall is people going there trying to be proactive. I want to help these schools because they're in need, and then you provide the goods and services. There is no bill. You are not going to be receiving your payment, and it's going to take a long time for us to solve that need. So don't do it. Don't be nice. Think about your business. Okay?
When you introduce the subject of the P card, maybe explain a little bit to what that's about.
So thank you. So the P card is the purchasing card, like the credit card. Some of our personnel in the district, they have a purchasing card where they are authorized to perform certain types of purchases. Those purchases are defined in our policy as well, and we also have a manual for our P card transactions. So for certain types of procurement and purchases, they are allowed to then perform purchases with the P card. The P card is also used, is a different type of card that we also call P cards, the emergency P card. When we have any type of emergencies like the hurricane and things like that, or fire or something like that, then the officers, they because it's an emergency situation, they can then perform some purchasing activities through the P card. So the P card, then we have a process to analyze every single transaction. So I have a team of in my department that takes a look in every single transaction with the receipts, and to make sure that even though it was a P card transaction, that we're following the policies.
So the P card is actually backed by a bank, right? And the vendor gets paid immediately, just like any other credit card.
Yeah, so the vendor gets paid, right? But then, the bank doesn't get paid. So we do all the reconciliation. We check the receipts, and sometimes we have disputes and things like that. But yeah, the vendor gets paid, automatically. Yeah.
Important information for you guys to know. So we're done with our questions, unless you guys want to add anything else, we'll turn to the audience.
Yeah, so I'd like just to, I know that I'm talking a lot. Yeah. So when I said, to get involved, it's not getting involved only with the schools or the municipalities is not the only way for you to provide services under 50,000 or even sometimes above 50,000. So we have certain needs, especially in the construction side, where our affirmative procurement initiative. Yes, sorry. I was right. So they call the vendors, the primary vendors that are providing the services to us, especially in the construction side, to outsource, up to 15, 20, or 10% of the services to a small business. So I invite you to monitor the bids that are awarded, especially in the construction, to see if those companies, they have those types of affirmative procurement initiatives. All right. So, and then you reach out to those companies and say, hey, I am a small business. I'm certified with Broward schools or with the municipalities, and I can provide those types of services. And they're going to be more than glad to, welcome you, to help you, to provide their services to them, because the business team, they monitor this. It's an obligation that the construction vendors, they have to provide, the services and use, a certain amount of small business vendors. So, and again, if you have doubts about this, reach out to Denise and her team. You can reach out to me, but she's the expert, right? So I just, some of the opportunities are not just direct opportunities that we're going to be buying directly from you or going to be providing the service directly to us, but you have some types of indirect procurements that you can work with some awarded vendors and then provide the services to them and through us indirectly. Okay?
Do you have any goals? The city of Sunrise have any goals?
Back to the invoicing part, again, almost a blank checkbook. We can write the checks all day if we need to, as long as the purchases go through proper channels, requisitions, purchase orders, get your invoicing correct, get it straight. We can pay it quick. It all depends on how you invoice us. Even the smallest thing, like where to send your money. Sometimes you'd be surprised, we get invoices all day. Cut us a check, but they don't tell us where to send money to. And, that's a bad thing, right? You want to get paid, and we're trying to pay you, but if we don't know where to send it, we're not going to send it. So then it turns into, let me call you, but your phone number's not on the invoice either. It's small things like that'll slow your income down and prevent us from getting you paid timely. So.
Do we have time for a couple questions? Questions, yes.
Thank you very much. This session was very informative. One question I have is, if I'm registered, is it similar to any other system where it's under specific NAIC codes? If I register, but then I can cut a tree if they need to. Do I need to? Thank you guys. Can we register and provide multiple services?
Yes, you can. Right. So also when you have and just to clarify, by the way, thank you. It's a very good question. So there is two processes, right? So one for you to be registered with us, right? Then you're going to become a registered vendor. And one thing that I want to clarify, even to Eugene's point, you are going to be registered and you're going to be awarded. There is not such thing as an approved vendor, right? So you're registered with us, went through the entire process. You can be a small
Business certified with us as well, and you can be then awarded vendor. We don't have we don't call the vendors as approved vendors, okay? But then to your point, I would tell you that when you register with us, you can choose different types of NAC codes, but also when you register with the Mandstar, that is our current advertisement solution, you can also pick different types of categories, right? NAC codes and so on. And then you can, if your company can provide services for different types of categories, you're going to receive a notification every time that any of those categories are advertised.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hand, raise hand.
Other questions? So I can go up somewhere else.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lorna. I'm here to find out, are there any opportunity for the healthcare industry? We are a small business for years in the healthcare sectors. we provide professional services such as nurses, physical therapists. So I want to know if there's any opportunity in the school board for any professional nurses staffing. Could you tell us some more about that? Or how we could go about getting the school board to provide such services for healthcare staffing?
So the answer is yes. Yeah, so we have needs in place for nursing services, and we are in great need of such type of services because, as you may know, we provide services for even the special kids, and we are obligated to provide support for all the kids in the county as well. So yes, we have needs for that. And also, from time to time, we need additional help, and then we have opportunities that we can do through a professional consultant agreement. That's a short term. But in your case, I would invite you
to get with our EDDC team, become a certified vendor, and apply, go to our website in procurement, and then, register also in Demand Star. And then you're going to start receiving notifications when we have new bids coming out for those types of service.
Like a bunch of healthy kids. Yeah, it's a place, especially once it was the same Palmas County. Palmas County has a contract with the healthcare district that provides the nurses in our schools, so that's covered there. I don't want to see there are other opportunities, so there's a big need for mental health services, big really, and I just see a lot of contracts with providers specialized in else the seniors plus tests.
Then we started today. Stop invite you to us.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm on the operations side, but I can direct you to the folks who built this.
Because the question I can get work hard.
Good evening. My name is Jacqueline, and I thank you for your time today. I have a landscaping business where we create food forests, fruit trees, pollinator gardens, and veggie gardens. And I looked, and there's one category for landscaping. I can imagine how many landscapers are registered. So is there a subcategory or something along those lines is it just creating the relationships, going to the municipalities and saying, I'm here?
So first of all, thank you for the question. You are absolutely right. So I think the bids that we have today in Broward schools are more landscaping, right? So we don't have any that I can call here specific categories, for maybe your type of services. But this is something that may be developed. I'm not sure about the needs that are out there. But I think you can contact me or the needs or her team, and then we can put in contact with our physical plant operations to see if is there a need for those type of services. And then if we believe there is a need, we can even work to have a solicitation, or then we will know that you then exist and can provide those services, and then we can tell you what you need to do, and next time we have a need, we can contact you for you to provide those services. Okay?
Yeah, so for Sunrise, that would probably fall under landscaping as well. However, we do have a strong green initiative, like Earth Day programs. They do tree giveaways. So we actually have a coordinator that handles that type of something like what your business does. So again, get yourself out there, be known, and you never know. They might utilize you. We have an annual Earth Day event every year. That sounds like something that they could utilize. So.
Hi, good evening. My name is Narissa Street. The name of the company is Be Your Own Answer, and we provide professional development and interactive self-care activities for teachers and staff. So my question is, if we register as a vendor, is the principal then making that choice, or is the district just hiring one of our firms and then the principal just, contracts the firm? So I'm trying to figure out whether I make the relationship with the principal and then that's, the under 50,000 or under 5,000, or is it the relationship specifically with the districts?